clear out a series against one of the best teams in the world in Gaimin Gladiators.
I like their odds. I think this draft is very well suited for them. I think they addressed some of the problems that existed from game one. Mainly, it was that Wind Ranger went untouched the entire game. So you're kind of going to be thinking about, okay, what hero is Quinn playing now that we are going to try and shut down? It's going to be an early pick Storm. So you get this Lion, Faceless Void second phase. The Snapfire should have a good lane for it. It's Noob's signature hero at this point, right? So you know the Storm's going to be a little slow off lane, and you have big lockdown him for later in the fight. It's also sometimes hard for him to jump supports like Phoenix, because even if you get him to 0, he still eggs. So I really like what Quest brought to the table. I think their laning looks pretty solid. Their team fight is insane. The one thing that might trip them up is like this Doom and Medusa scale. You know, if Ace gets really big, you get to this later game where he has an Ags, you can't Linken's block this Doom. That's going to be concerning for you in the fight. When he just runs in, like, it might mess with your Phoenix swooping in, it might mess with your Lion blinking in. And of course there is Grab Ally in the game, so as good as these Chronospheres and Black Holes are going to be late game, you can always just pull someone right out of it.
So if they've addressed the Quinn Storm Spirit here, have they addressed the dyrachyo Medusa? Because it is something that the panel seemed to favor quite a bit. Faith Beyond said, yeah, this is a great game for Medusa, basically.
I mean, it's last pick, so they didn't really have a chance to address it.
Sure.
I think the Faceless Void is a good matchup for that hero for sure. You've seen a lot of teams pick the Faceless Void against the Medusa, so at least you have that going for you. I mean, you can always just Lion mana drain it. And what stops you sitting there and sucking it all away?
That's actually true. Yeah. If you get a Chronosphere, Mana Drain might be one of the most potent spells you could put into it. Holy cow.
This is actually a good game where the Lion might come into effect in that regard, because you have the Black Hole and the Chrono where you can just hold the Medusa in, right?
Sure.
Normally you don't get an opportunity to run up and just drain the Medusa for mana because you're dying to her in the AoE with the split shot. I go back to that game that dyrachyo played it with the Divine Rapier, right? At a certain point, this hero just creates a zone of damage you can't enter as these ranged supports, and that is the issue for Lion in this matchup, which traditionally, I mean, Mana Drain's not going to do anything. But when you have these huge long duration stuns that can just hold her in and prevent those auto attacks going out, yeah, maybe Omar can get some work done even in the late game with this hero versus the AoE that Gaimin are promising. And of course, a lot of this might come down to some of the lane matchups too. Like, how much does Noob get done in that favorable 1v1 with the Snapfire? And how well do Quest play their side lanes? I was impressed by them last game. This is a similar situation where you have pretty greedy side lanes, and especially the safe lane, Phoenix Void. The powers in that mid-late game, sometimes that lacks a little bit on the laning phase, and you did have this counter pick from Ace in the Doom. So we'll see how much PA2000 can extract.
Gaimin Gladiators, Siggies, but we've got the Noob Snapfire once again. I'm still shocked that teams are giving this one to
It is
Quest.
pretty crazy. And they had to decide between the bans. Now, first game, they banned the Primal and the Snap to limit Noob's more aggressive tempo-setting heroes, which is a big key of Quest's puzzle you have to figure out in this tournament. Is like, how do you slow them down enough that their late game isn't as potent?
Right.
And the Primal and the Snap have been the best tools out of mid to create space in the game for their two silent to come online.
Do you think the Quap
they
didn't hit quite the same as the other Noob heroes?
I don't think it did. I think it was kind of doing its job, but at the same time, it didn't end up scaling as well as I thought it would in that game. Maybe just a product of how the fights went. Whereas I think Noob is, all the games we've seen from him, the Primal and the Snap have definitely been his two best heroes in terms of doing well in lane and then being a threat in those late game fights.
Are trying to make a run for it, but the zombies are slowing him down. And they very likely is going to be your first blood going over to Seleri.
Nice little pickup with the tombstone timing that is... Man, it's so hard to dodge that kill, honestly. And even in a lane where they have Enigma who can bring the lane back and abuse the level advantage, it's still very difficult to dodge here with the double range. Nice little pickup for Seleri, and that first blood did go to the Undying over the Medusa, so I guess Quest not too sad about that one.
And it does give an opportunity to refill Noob's bottle. Exactly. In a matchup that he wants to try and abuse the Storm Spirits as much as possible, right? Like, a lot of this matchup is about scatter blasting him over and over again, getting him low enough to try and get a cookie kill.
Especially if you can maybe find the kill on Quinn before he hits 6. Like I said, if you get him low, you chip him down with these scatter blasting cookies, you bring the line in. That's an easy kill before he's 6. And the supports from Gaimin do not really want to go and skirmish around mid too much this game. They rather play the side lanes and boost up their cores. Maybe Tofu looks for some triangle stacks. At a certain point, the Coddle will connect with the Storm, but in this very early game, that route is open. They're going to look for the revenge. Does have a Lotus.
Yeah, the Eidolon's helping out a lot in this matchup, but Seleri was still tanky enough to be able to get away.
And Malik's done a pretty good job protecting these Eidolons and powering through for the denies. Like, this is 8 denies to 0 on the Medusa.
Yeah, only 16 CS on Dusa. That's pretty good. Limited
Here's some of that
quite
chip
a bit.
damage. It'll prompt up not a bottle refill.
Oh.
That was the Coddle looking for the water rune. So Quinn's going to get no rune advantage here, as Noob will gobble up both of them. In fact, Tofu didn't even run over to deny that.
Yeah, he just left it. He was going for the water rune and then TP'd, then realized his TP wasn't required.
And we see early raindrop for Quinn too. This is not an item you like buying in the 1v1s. It's more of an item you have to buy to try and sustain. I mean, it just ends up being dead gold once it gets burned. Will prevent a lot of the chip damage here. So maybe Quinn's also thinking about this potential gank in the mid if he ends up being low.
Yeah.
And converting a bit more of his net worth into regen to stay high, prevent that move from coming out. I mean, Enigma is a hero you can leave alone top. So Omar has the ability to roam either to mid or bottom here. You get the levels up. Ace eventually did find a healing creep, and he will gobble up a heartbeat creep. Well, certainly a
first
lucky
in
lad
bash.
today.
That's going to help TA2000 out quite a bit. And going for this kill onto Ace. Gary's low, but they should still be able to get the kill on Ace. And Tofu can't do anything in return. A 0-1-2 build by him. No levels of the Illuminate Blast. Even if he lives here, it's like, well, where are you going to go?
He's going to south up.
I guess so.
Almost got the courier.
It does mean nobody's in lane for a bit, so maybe some missed CS and experience for sure.
I mean, to be fair, Illuminate is pretty bad against the Faceless Void lane. He can jump it all off, and then it's an extra time dilation target. And it's just a nice aggressive read by Quest, even though Ace has gotten some damn good small creeps down here. Still winning that lane. And there is the solo kill with the kisses.
Got the level 6 before him. And Quinn opting, he was behind in experience, but we've seen a lot of Storm Spirits at this point. Like, okay, if the enemy mid has kill power at 6, you just default jungle. But Quinn opted not to do that. Tried to stay in lane. Pays the price for it. Dyrachyo almost dies as well. The blood grenade, it'll take him out.
It's under attack.
By 1 or 2 HP, they find that kill with the last tick, just enough to know. That's a lot of XP into Omar here, as he is already 4 before the Wisdom Runes come out. Quest striking on all 3 lanes here. This is a very good early game for them. And it's very valuable that you're shutting down Quinn, because he was the one factor that was going off for Gaimin. So that feels doubly good, right? You're getting your tempo setter out of mid in a really good position off a solo kill from Noob. That's just crazy high value, and you're winning your side lanes here.
Great start for Quest. And something interesting about this series, every single time that these two teams have matched up against each other in a series, it has gone the distance. Even the group stage matches will go 1-1. They've always gone to a game 3 and best of 3s. And Quest are looking to be able to continue that pattern, but it's going to require Noob to get past. Oh no, they missed Impale from Omar. And Quinn with this Arcane Rune is just going to get too much done here. They're going to go for a second kill. Seleri's going to help tank the tower to ensure a double in mid.
We will get the Wisdom Rune on Cowrie, so they'll get double that here for Quest, at least Slain to make up for that dive. Man, that Arcane Rune did work there for Gaimin. Nice little collapse from them with this Tombstone timing on top of the Arcane Rune for the Storm, on top of being able to chakra him up. You're happy about the support levels here, but not happy about all that gold going back into the Storm Spirit's pocket. Like you said, that Impale missed, also that Blinding Light, just enough cast range to get the bounce back.
Yeah, it would have been a big difference if he pushed him in a slightly different direction.
Still a level behind. That is how much Noob pulled out of that 1v1. Something to swing this game back in their favor. I mean, the one option for Quest is keep playing these side lanes with some decent kill threat as the ultimates come up, right? You're closing in on Chrono. You already have Black Hole on the other side, so these side lanes are a little scary to just stand on with the solo cores if you're gaming. Your supports are not really bailing you out from that damage if you bring the rotation.
Going for the kill onto Quinn. Hits him with the cookie, but Seleri and Tofu are coming in here. Supports on both sides. Going to try and change this fight. They'll get the stun on to Tofu, and looks like the Keeper of the Light is going to be the one to pay the price here. One final Fire Spirit's a little bit more burnt damage. A Blood Grenade added on top, and he dies.
Another nice little rotation from the supports. They are racking in a lot of XP right now. They're both 5.5 basically to the level 4s on Gaimin, as they just had to commit resources to bring the Storm back in the game. Always a trade-off somewhere else. And if you can get a fast egg and finger up, you know, the downside of these big ultimate lineups is sometimes you have to wait for your cooldowns to fight. The thing is that I think Quest have so many, it almost doesn't matter. Like, just start throwing them out to kill people. You still have 3 or 4 more left.
Yeah. Well, they're going to throw this one out. Kisses and Chronosphere. Once again, special attention being played to Ace and making sure he does not walk away with a free laning phase. He's a Doom, so he's going to have high net worth naturally, but they don't let him get much past that.
And this was the choice Quest had, right? You can go for the Chrono kill on the bottom lane or go for the Black Hole kill top. They end up prioritizing Ace here, and maybe also helping Tay2000 as he is just rushing the Midas here on the Faceless Void. The Enigma's a bit more self-sustaining.
Oh, instant black hole from Malik. That is actually a really good response. It may not be enough to keep him alive. The Malphits with the Hex, they change those stuff. They get the kill on Quinn. What a beautiful turn from Malik.
You might even
Such
get out.
a heads up read to TP out too. That was sick.
That ward paid off so much. Yeah,
yeah.
Tofu's going to de-ward now. Like, there's no way he makes that play without seeing us coming. That's just a really good bait, a really good turnaround. Omar in the right place again as usual.
I mean, the Dusa doesn't have Stone Gaze, but the fact that he's faced away from the Dusa too just adds just that little bit of extra bit to it.
I mean, this is not a turn play that Gaimin expected here.
No, not at all. Long sip in, going for the kill on Omar. Quinn not going to be kept down for long. Immediately gets a kill on Revive.
Do have to keep in mind this Max Chakra Magic is going to keep the Storm on the map. Every time he comes back, every time he goes for a jump, it's just going to get refilled. So you have to play discipline. Cannot give these openings to the Storm. Let him regain the momentum every time you shut him down with these big ults. And that's something you're going to have to play around, right? Every time you use a big ult to get a kill, Gaimin have a bit of a window to force somebody off a wave or just go for another jump or dive. Something you have to constantly communicate and think about in this game. However, all these ults are online, man. Just so much experience going into these cores and the supports. You have everything. You have a finger, you have an egg, you have a black hole, and Kiss is coming back up. Ato's already done for Noob as well, so you have earlier lockdown. He just rushed it over the boots. A benefit of this mid lane going super well. He's 1,000 ahead of Quinn here. That means you have an extra lockdown tool for the Storm when he jumps in deep. And that's what makes the Lion pick really nice here, is you have to commit into these big ults. It protects Omar, which means every time you go in with the Storm, who is the only initiator for Gaimin, the chances that you find an Atos, a Cookie, a Hex, an Impale, anything, and then you can just chain it into everything else is pretty damn high.
Yeah. Look at how many more stacks they have against a lineup that has a Medusa. So Gaimin Gladiators, all these moves early on, is costing dyrachyo a bit of later farm.
And Malik is being insanely efficient right now. He's farming the lane with his hero and camps with the Eidolons. Not feeling the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Taking advantage of it. This is a lot of extra gold going into the Enigma. Mech already done. He's just going to rush the Greaves. I think going Ors here feels pretty nice, because again, I don't think you need the black hole to feel like you're going to win the later fights here, right?
There's a decent chance that they just run out of damage on Gaimin Gladiators, right?
It's pretty high.
If you don't have an Illuminate Blast, then your Cuddle isn't actually adding any damage. It's all up to the Storm Spirit, but even, like, he doesn't like not being able to burst down heroes. So Mech and Guardian Greaves is going to do a lot against that. But even if he does jump in, he could just get hexed. No damage output.
Radiant are scanning.
For the 12-minute rune, you got to be careful of these Atoses with who's behind Noob here. It'll be a shield rune bottom. Another smoke and double support committal just to get this power rune for Quinn.
I don't think it is
top.
a rune that... I mean, if it's an arcane rune or regen rune, maybe it would be worth it, but shield rune, see what Quinn does with it.
I mean, there are a lot of heroes off the map right now. This should be a smoke that dyrachyo can read, as, I mean, nobody is showing mid, right? This is prime alert signal right now. There's not even anybody showing bottom, though. You will see Cowrie here in his usual Phoenix position, rushing his usual Hex. Nothing changes for the hero or the man here, as they just continue to run it back. Yeah, and that smoke just didn't yield anything. That was optimistic here. There's too many heroes off the map, and dyrachyo is not going to give him something to jump on. To result in mid lane getting pushed in.
Noob is going to think about going back for a hand of Midas, which would obviously seriously amp up their late game potential.
Team does like their late game. I mean, this lineup should tell you everything you need to know about that. I don't think they're afraid of going late here. The Medusa Doom is scary at a certain point, right? Like, if you give them second or third Roche, I think that's when this lineup becomes the most terrifying. The Doomags is also a concern for a lot of your big ults. And of course, you know, maybe some ultra late game Dusa that we've seen out dyrachyo. Always an option, just wins you a game off a Divine Rapier or something. Still, you have so many scaling BKB piercing ultimates with a Snapfire who's going to get 20 and 25 talents at a certain point. Another two-man smoke.
And another smoke that dyrachyo is either reading or just not wanting to play the lane so far forward, and is, as a result, making himself very hard to gank for Noob and Amar.
He's feel a little forced in a way.
Yeah.
It's taking a lot of time out of Noob's early game here to commit twice for this Medusa. I don't think they're going to find either time. if you get the tower out of this off the Enigma push, I think you're okay committing it once, but the fact they did it twice is really slowing this game down.
They're playing away from the power.
Seleri is hitting your tier 1.
Yeah, that should go
illegal.
Unpunished. They might be able to not up. Oh, Lamar gonna be in trouble. Got off the Hex, but there's gonna be no follow-up disable immediately, but it is enough to get him away from the Tombstone. TA2000. Good thing he didn't throw that Chronosphere. Wouldn't have gone far enough. Quest bringing all 5 of their heroes. Gaimin Gladiators do manage to back out successfully without any losses, though.
That was a very bold bait by Seleri. They're hitting tier 1 isn't Undying. I mean, you know Quest are going to respond because they want these 5-on-5s with the big ults. So the fact that Gaimin bring them all there and get out, probably pretty happy with that. Their Deuce is farming. They have some stacks to fall back on. And of course, you always have the money printer Doombringer going to work. Max Devour Midas up for Ace. He is climbed to the top and will probably continue that climb. This is where the acceleration of the Doom and the Medusa might take over the game for a bit here, as I don't know if Faceless Void is matching it too well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Do you think this is one of those lineups that both teams is fine, like with their scale? Quinn messed something up there. Supernova, he managed to get one Fire Spirit out, but the other ones didn't land on the supports, and as a result, the egg will die.
You had your warning.
I think, yeah, it is kind of a game where both teams probably think they can win late game, which I think is true. I mean, those late game fights will probably come down to execution here.
Kisses, Black Hole, heavy resources to kill this Medusa. It's going to be a close call. His mana shield's gone, but the rest of the team of Gaimin Gladiators is now here. The response with the Scottish Blast from Noob to try and stop Quinn from chasing down Malik isn't going to be good enough. And now dyrachyo even comes back in, pops a little bit of extra mana to get the Stone Gaze off, chasing away the rest of the quest. But TA2000 is now here with the Chronosphere. What's he going to put it to use to? Sticks onto Quinn, might be able to get this kill if he gets the bashes for it. Omar's going to line up a beautiful stun. That's going to be fantastic. But here comes Ace. TA2000 needs to time walk backwards now before the Doom can catch up to him. A little bit more slow. Another time walk coming up. Is Ace going to get there? He's not.
Yeah, remember, you didn't have egg for this fight either. Otherwise, maybe you can stick in there longer. And the Tombstone just standing up multiple Chakra Magics on dyrachyo. Something you're always going to have to think about this game is the refill for the Medusa. You just don't have enough damage here. 3 ults is not enough. That is going to be the power of the Snake Lady here. As you throw everything into him and, oh, there's a Chakra Magic. He's basically full again. The problem with this matchup in the Medusa Enigma is the Midnight Pulse is just kind of useless.
Yeah.
So you just miss so much burst during your Black Hole compared to most other tanky frontliner carries here. Right. It just feels bad. TA2000 will salvage this a bit.
Yeah, a little bit by being able to get an important kill onto Quinn, but then has to leave. A lot less ultimates being used by Gaimin Gladiators in that fight.
And they know the big ones are down for Quest, so time for Quinn to play a bit aggressive here. I mean, he's still been shut down this game a lot more relative to the last one. And he is still your initiator for gaming. So Quest are fulfilling that objective so far.
Top tower is under attack.
And the Greaves was finished for Mog. Man, they're still looking for this tier 1 top, and it'll be a trade for mid. This is not a tower you want to trade for Quest. You just only have the egg up. Seleri will just smack it down. Gaimin's super happy about the fact they got that for free.
Quest just gonna have to take a bit of a slower time here where their ultimates are coming back up.
Yeah, this is going to turn into a game where you fight around your ults and then you go back to farming and it becomes very static, because I don't think Quest are going to be able to push any sort of tempo in this game, even with the Greaves on the Enigma. It's going to be hard to invade areas and stick there, because every time you go on and hero use these spells, Gaimin are going to run back at you, which means you have to concede the ground you gain through a big core kill. And you are going to get out farmed. So you're going to feel a little pressure right now. If you get through this period, though, get to your talents, get to your BKBs, level 2 on the egg, level 2 on the chrono, then you're a bit happier on these fights.
Orchid going to be put to use on Kaori. So his Scythe of Ice is going to be even more delayed. He's not having the free farming game that he had in game 1.
No, he found some of the levels, but definitely not finding the net worth here, as this hit squad is picking up some pace. Chakra Magic on a double damage Storm with Orchid.
Radiant's
And
middle
late
tower
Orchid
is
pickup
under
for
attack.
Quinn, though, still very effective here.
TA2000, he already used his time walk. Quinn's going to try and pounce onto him. He's hidden away into the trees. He does have Chronosphere, but they spot him. He's going to get an Orchid in, and now he's going to get bursted down. Can't get any spells
Radiant's
off.
bottom tower is under
This
attack.
Orchid's already paid off.
Storm was coming.
2 big kills for Quinn. It's going to close out this map, but it might even result in a tier 2 with this double damage, putting in some work. Don't have a glyph here. And these towers are really important for Quest. These are the power points with which they can get a good fight with a bunch of their ultimates in a defensive position and abuse a Storm Dive. You gotta remember, their lineup's kind of based around Quinn going in and then them turning that around with the Hex or random Impale, random Atos. They're not really finding that. As Gaimin continue to route them on the map for the time being.
Pushing towards mid. They have lots of vision around that area. They have 2 different mid boards.
Yeah, look at this one just outside the sentry on mid. That is brutal right now for Quest. You think you got it covered, and you miss it by centimeters here.
We'll see whether or not Gaimin Gladiators is able to take advantage of that ward. If they want to push into the triangle, it is super dangerous right now, though, with all these big ultimates back up and in play. I mean, you're going to grind yourself more and more of a net worth lead, but it can all go away off of one good fight from Quest.
And they did end up getting that Ops, so you prevent that sort of move.
That's nice.
And you do have this blink on Amar, so this is kind of your time to start the initiations if you feel strong enough to force that type of engagement.
Is under attack.
You just have to be careful. I think it's very hard for Quest to force an aggressive fight, honestly.
Quinn's going to wander around with this Invis rune because he sees Eidolon, so he's like, okay, the Enigma's got to be up here somewhere. He's not. So he's going to be wasting a bit of time there. What is Quest going to be able to get, though?
I mean, they're trying to bait a Storm Jump.
They are.
That's
Yeah,
what's
so they're
happening
both trying to get something out of the enemy team that is not actually there.
Still, they'll get mid-tower off of this Catapult Eidolon push, I believe. And BKB done for Noob. Very big item as he's kind of their front line this game.
Yep.
He has to be the one going in, setting the fight up, giving vision. No one else wants to show.
They're going to go for Seleri pretty deep here to collect a position 5, but nobody from Gaimin Gladiators is close by, so it's a wise choice. Quest get a kill and a tower.
Gaimin just farming the map. Getting a lot out of this time period, and it'll probably be the Medusa Butterfly. That's the signal for Gaimin to group up and try and force a fight into a Roshan. Again, you kind of want to get the first Roshan around the second item for Medusa, and you want to get the second one around the third or fourth, and then try and go high ground with that. That's like your perfect lineup here. This Butterfly is going to be pretty damn strong against the Faceless Void, the Snapfire. Kind of sucks versus all the spell damage, but I think like we saw earlier in that top fight, that spell damage was not that close to killing him, to be honest.
Yeah, he definitely had, because he didn't he lived through it without any teammates behind him, right? He got Black Hole, Kisses, all that damage wasn't enough. He could have been, there's so many things that could have happened, right? Could have been Blinding Light, could have been Chakra Magic, could have been the Storm Spirit jumping in and stopping the Kisses halfway through.
I mean, Soul Rip coming in, sure. Chakra him up. You can, I mean, it's not great on Medusa, but it's a little something.
Yeah, do we have Grab Ally yet? No, he's pushing towards a pipe.
Seleri's building the support right now because Ace is just going full carry Doom, right? He's going Octarine on the Midas into BKB.
Yeah, but is Pipe actually better than having a single target save under these?
Well, he wants it off the shard.
Yeah, but is he going to get it off the shard? They haven't made a priority to go to take the Tormentor.
Well, but eventually you roll the dice long enough, it'll come up. Seleri. Butterfly closing in. Quest are losing a lot of gold during this time period because they just constantly went for this bait on the Storm Jump mid. Quinn did not bite. And as a result, the Medusa and the Doom have definitely outfarmed you during this period.
That Butterfly is closing in. A Quest going to be able to deal with that timing?
It's going to be a tough one. You're going to have to line up a lot of your ults, get this team fight from the right angle. If you can find the backline or the Doom first, I almost think that's your best case scenario. It's one of those games where you have the option of going on everybody else or throwing everything on the Medusa. And if you believe you have the damage numbers for it and it works, then you're very happy. And if it doesn't, you're probably absolutely screwed.
That's where the Snapfire's timing on this Midas is so wild to me, because I feel like it's going to be Gaimin Gladiators at their peak is where you're going to have that high end of Midas, and it's going to be giving you basically no impact. Now, if you weather through that, you get to your faster level 20, faster level 25, you start getting late game scaling items, that it could be brilliant. But it is no doubt a risky move.
It's not going to help you contest this Roche, but maybe Quest don't want to contest the first Roche. Maybe they're just going to play for second and third. I mean, try and get the Snapfire talent.
Crazy good high ground defense, so maybe they're just going to shrug off the little pickoffs like this, the Roshan kill, and just say, make them try and go high ground. That's where we're going to beat them.
This is definitely the hardest Roche to contest for Quest lineup. I mean, one, just getting in there with your big ults, the angle's very difficult into the early tombstone. You're not going to be able to necessarily get blinks off into the pit. It's very tough. I don't have anything against conceding this Roshan. I think this was probably Gaimin's to get with the way dyrachyo itemized here. You just want to keep at least finding something on the map so you're keeping pace here. And it'll probably be BKBs around for Quest that make the team fights easier. You're going this Manta Diffusal build for TA2000. Definitely going to help put a lot more extra damage into the Medusa if the illusions can survive. And I mean, you might be able to Manta dodge like a Doom Initiation for a while. Also nice for the Orchid on the Storm. And it's going to be BKB for Malik. That's going to be a very large item. If you can BKB Black Hole commit on one of the two cores that doesn't have the Aegis here, decent shot, you win that fight. Early recall for Tofu. Help you play the map. But it is not that grab ally.
Tormentor Shard going to Omar, which I think is the one that they...
Yeah, that's actually the pretty nice one here.
Yeah, Kauri already bought his Shard, so then the other one would have been... Who's third on net worth? Enigma? Yeah, that's definitely what you want. The lion one.
It's also nice because now he doesn't have to buy it, which means you can get another Glimmer Cape or a Force Staff or something to help you survive, or at least hide from the Storm Spirit jump. That Hex is a very important spell in the fight versus Gaimin's Initiation. They're looking bottom. Do not want to give up a kill here straight into a tower push.
Oh, absolutely not. And Quinn's going to try and risk it. Goes in for the deep dive, but Guardian Greaves will protect Malik if need be, so Quinn gives up on that kill. A different hero? Maybe, but not this Enigma.
You also don't want to get baited outright. This is one of those situations where the first jump doesn't work, the second one might. He was looking, almost got him.
Yeah, you could see he was fishing for. That line is his biggest nemesis right now.
Get a little tower damage. BKB is up for Ace, not a big aura item. Will protect him a lot here as that Aegis on Quinn, no Aegis on the Medusa. You theoretically have all-in potential on dyrachyo right now. He's missing almost half.
They're going to get a double damage for Noob. I wonder if they...
Yeah, they're going to smoke behind. This could be amazing for Quest if they can find Medusa and burst her down with this DD.
Is a DD Snapfire really going to make the difference, though, without that 20 talent? You can see the Faceless Void. TA2000 set up, ready to go. Kisses start raiding in. They got the initiation onto Quinn. They want to blow him up and take away that Aegis without using the Chronosphere, and there's not much chance of that. Quinn survives, very healthy, in fact.
Got to clear out this ward on the high ground. And send the Manta Illusions in to do it.
Oh. Lost the vision.
He dies first.
And they're losing their melee barracks bit by bit. Gaimin Gladiators just putting Quinn up there to do the damage with his extra life.
This is not your typical high ground seizure here in the Storm Spirit with Aegis, but it's getting the job done slowly but surely. I mean, what's the answer to this? TA2000 went back to farming Aegis. He has no teleport. He's waiting for this Diffusal. This might just be a melee Rax to a Storm?
Backdoor protection goes up for a second. That's going to delay things even further. But eventually, Quinn will have this building. dyrachyo is going to start creeping forward, feeling more and more confident. The Quest are just giving this up entirely. They're right.
This is a lot to concede right now, especially the way Gaimin did it. And the fact that you brought everybody back for Quest, right? It wasn't a Rax concede where you were just farming out the map. It was a Rax concede where you kind of wanted to find the fight. Just ended up getting nothing out of this time period, really. Diffusal on TA2000 was pretty much what you got as he found something. Man, they are really banking on their late game team fighting here.
Yes, they are.
I mean, one Rax is definitely not the end of the world.
28 minutes. Oh, he gets the Illusion Rune and gets the Orchid before the disable. Omar is going to get picked off here, and they're going to be able to get the other support Kauri as well. So Doom put to use because, I mean, Quest isn't fighting them earlier. They're certainly not going to be fighting them right now, so no sense in holding on to these cooldowns.
I wonder if Gaimin are just going to push another lane, even with this Aegis expiring.
Dire's top
Quest, they might
feels
try and
like
make a
it.
fast move here, but the Chronosphere is going to go out. They're going to try and blow up the Medusa off the black hole
that
behind
hole
it
was
too.
nice.
Catching the Undying is perfect, and there it goes. Dyrachyo's dead, but TA2000 is going to be caught up, disabled, gets off the Manta,
got the
time
Storm.
walks over to the side, and now the Storm Spirit's dead. Do they have it disabled? Does Amar have anything? He doesn't.
stuns.
Quest, oh, he got him after the illusion root and got him with the Rod of Atos, but it wasn't quite enough. He was able to survive long enough. He gets the zip away. It would have been an incredible catch from Noob, but they still get so much on the side of Quest. They will take out Dyrachyo, 2 supports, and the Aegis of the Storm Spirit.
Really nice read by Quest, especially TA2000 saying, guys, these guys are so far behind our tier 2 clumping. Like, what the hell are they doing? I don't think Gaimin expected them to fight because they gave up the bottom racks. Why would you fight for a tier 2? Maybe just caught him off guard, and that black hole was absolutely perfect. Catches the Undying and the Medusa once she's out of mana. Kind of zones off the rest of the team fight as well. T1000 wasted a little bit of time killing some Medusa illusions. I don't think that was what he was looking for, but they still have an overwhelming amount of damage here. And like you said, no grab ally save, right?
Yep.
Like you opted for a pipe over that. I mean, the pipe is nice. Not great for your Medusa here.
Great read by Malik, getting that follow-up initiation. Not even waiting for the Chronosphere to like completely fall out. He knew how important it was to catch the Undying, to stop the save. But now, that's step 1. What does Quest do on the revive from Gaimin Gladiators when they don't have their ultimates again?
I mean, you just got to farm. You got to farm push in lane so that your ults have enough time to come back up. That was just over-anxious by Gaimin.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't the Undying save, but you have to think about this black hole out of the Chrono because you don't want the Medusa getting chakra.
Oh, the Hex! Can he TP out? No, he can't. He's saying, okay, this is too close to this one. I'm dead.
I mean, this is what's basically going to happen. Like, you're going to concede some kill or tower on the map while you wait for your cooldowns here, and they're not too far away. 50 seconds for this black hole.
I mean, do you think Gaimin Gladiators are going to wait for Roshan? I think they're just going to go high ground again.
They might try and force another lane. They do have the grab ally up now, which is a big deal here. They're waiting for the Doomags, which is about 800 away.
Radiant's top tower.
These pushes are risky, man. If they backfire, you just lose so much. The problem with pushing it now is
Radiant's
you potentially lose a fight into losing Roshan, right?
Yes.
Which I don't think is worth it. So I think if you're gaming, you definitely wait for Roshan to be up and you take that fight. And if you're Quest, you need to decide what are the best items we can buy right now to contest that. Because that is not the Roshan you want to give up for free. The first one did not end up costing you too much outside of a lane. This second one will definitely force a high ground from gaming. Then you have to decide if it's better to fight the Roche to prevent that or fight the high ground again. However, it'll probably be Aegis on the Medusa, not the Storm, so your all-in potential is a little worse. And with the side to smoke out first, this is very nice if you can connect on it.
Your
Then you
damage
kind of
is about
prevent
to
those
amp
scenarios.
up, though. By Gaimin Gladiators not pushing the high ground, it does
Top tower
look
is
like
under
Noob
attack.
might be able to get his level 20 before the Roshan spawns. So he'll have that big damage upgrade. They have a scan on Quinn, but he got off the BKB immediately. He's actually going to bounce back because he has an Arcane Rune, so a fight is not the worst for him right now.
That's one of those moments where do you throw the Chrono or do you not?
Yes.
I think he might have been able to catch up, but that's a very difficult call to make, and probably not one you go for at this point in the game when you're fighting for these objectives. Way too risky. If he gets to jump out there, or there's like a grab ally behind him, that's a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, getting the BKB out of Quinn,
It's valuable.
Still super valuable.
Yes, it's going to create a big opening for you here. And of course, this is time for you to continue farming as well, which is kind of what Quest want in this game. Especially that level 20 talent on Noob. If they get that, it opens up a lot more damage to pump into this Chrono. He's very close. Ags done for Ace. So that is, to me, that's the next biggest thing in this game. It's the grab ally being up, and it's this Ags for the Doom. Because all of a sudden, your black holes become way harder. Your dives in from the Phoenix become way harder. Might even catch that Lion jump. It's just a very powerful item in this game. It makes the initiations from Gaimin also more reliable because you can jump the Storm in with the Doom if you really want to, and then you can't black hole on top.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very aggressive route for Gaimin. I don't know if they want to do that aggressive, but it is an option. Quinn will use all his mana here.
What is your suggestion then for how Malik plays the team? Like, if Ace is going to be like ready to respond with Blink AoE Doom, do you never use the Doom? Do you try and throw it in early to like get that reaction out of Ace?
I mean, ideally, your team takes the fight in a way where you're killing a core in the chrono, like last time, right? This Medusa's dying or the Storm is dying, and it forces the jump first out of gaming. You want to put Ace in a position where he feels like he has to jump before Malik does.
Okay.
If that happens, then you're going to be very happy with that, and then you can kind of position this black hole a little bit, or maybe it lasts for a second, but that's enough to finish off the big core in the chrono. That is also an option here.
Yeah.
It just comes down to how much damage you can pour in and how well this chrono lands. Like, what's the zoning positioning off that too, right?
And how well that chrono lands, or how well that black hole lands, is going to be assisted by an ether lens now for the Enigma. So better chance to be able to catch maybe some of the backline heroes if that's what he's going to fish for. More distance of throwing the black hole out there, which means more time that Ace has to move forward to counter it.
Exactly. You can also put it behind a hero that you're going on to zone off some of the turnaround potential from gaming. Yeah, positioning these ults is crucial for Quest right now as they smoke aggressively to contest this Roshan. It's going to be difficult to get the vision on the jump, which I think just comes down to Noob running in. Like, he has to just tank the bullet here.
Yeah, with the Silver Edge, he's going to be able to find the Storm Spirit. That's perfect, but the counter is there from Ace. They throw the Chrono Spirit, it only caught it Undying. A great Supernova, but it's not going to save Omar. And without Omar, Quinn is now free to play the team fight aggressively into TA2000, trying to lock it down.
Ace.
Time walk away into the side, a 1-for-1 exchange, not too bad, but running low on ultimates. He still has the black hole, though.
You cannot clump here if you're gaming. Malik, he's looking.
He's got it. 2 heroes inside of the black hole. Instantly, the Coddle's dead. There is a response from Quinn. He's going to stop the Kisses, trying to kill the Snapfire. It looks like Dyrachyo's going to be able to do that and kill TA2000 and Malik. It was too much. The damage was too much from Dyrachyo coming out of that black hole.
If only Quest had vision on that hill. That is a dire ward, and it does everything here as Gaimin, they knew what they were running into, and Malik has to go a second too late, or he might have had all 4 there. Even still, Dyrachyo, he was not close to dying in this fight as T2000 has to risk going back in, and it all starts with a chrono that lands on the Undying. That's all you got.
But look at Dyrachyo. He played it too aggressively, and now it's going to be caught in the mid lane. Out of mana. Is there enough damage? TA2000 with the buyback here. Both him and Noob committing to this fight. It's a kill. They have to get in this situation. They committed too much for it.
Dyrachyo
got it, and they're going to be able to get the Coddle as well. Tofu gets drug in by Dyrachyo's over-aggression. They lose 2. And now a big opportunity for Quest to get another life on these heroes that just bought back.
I don't know if this was a Roshan. They were thinking they were going to get in this game anymore, and suddenly, you have 70 seconds, no Medusa, not respecting the buyback potential out of Quest, and not respecting the single target burst that is coming out of this Snapfire right now. It is something that has made this hero terrifying for this team. It controls the early game, and it helps them win the late game here. A significant amount of gold as well, so you're going to repay the buybacks. And if you're Quest, the thing is, if you're Quest, you have to mana for Roche right now. Yeah. There's no way you're committing double core buyback into a Deuce kill on mid lane without securing an Aegis for at least one of them. And how fast can they do it here? It's going to be pretty fast. I wonder if Gaming want to contest this. I mean, you have AoE Doom, you have a Storm Jump. Their heroes are not bad around the pit. Tombstone as well. There's some steal potential here.
If you could kill TA2000 at the start of the fight, I mean, just getting in there in a dead-end area like the Roche pit with this AoE Doom.
There is Chrono. So in theory, TA2000 could also just secure the Roche with Chrono if he's really worried about a Doom jump.
Are they going to see this coming? Omar, beautifully positioned to break any smokes, potentially get any reads. He sees Ace and immediately jumps in. His team has finished up Roshan. He wants to get the extra kill off of this one, and Ace is going to be stalled up significantly. He does have BKB, but TA2000 does have Chronosphere, and he's going to put it to use. Finish off the Doom, and they could go for it. The Undying as well. Seleri got caught in the back line, so no chance of a grab ally. Malik jumping forward. A few more seconds till the black hole, but a few seconds of disable might just be enough. An Impale, a follow-it up, and Malik, a back hole about to come up, but no! Quinn, he gets away, has a little bit more mana to work with, has to dodge the kisses coming in. Noob, laying into Seleri, another buyback out from the side.
He got all 3!
The 3-man black hole! It is absolutely perfect for Malik! He sees the opportunity to take down Gaimin Gladiators, put him in their grave after a successful Roshan fight.
Oh, he got the Storm from the high ground, doesn't need the vision to get them all, as all the spells for Quest are aligning perfectly here. They come off cooldown in the middle of that fight and get the extra punish off Gaming, just not respecting the initiation range and being a little sloppy around that Roche pit. You either commit in there blind off a smoke or you get the hell out, right?
Yeah.
This is just indecision right now. And the buybacks for Quest end up paying off big time as they get everything on the map, including a full team fight wipe. A perfect chrono by TA2000. You get the core plus the save and the Undying. That's also a dieback for Seleri. He came into this fight to try and turn it a second time. Ended up getting nothing. This Stone Gaze cannot protect your Storm as some pretty good bashes there, to be real, from TA2000.
Also some insane
so damn low
as well. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have been hit by those kisses to finish him off, but didn't matter. Malik.
And hey, your mana drain coming into play, right? This is a lot of extra damage on these heroes.
Yep.
Omar just gets to sit there, suck you dry the whole time. Actually ended up dying to dyrachyo. I'd actually noticed that. dyrachyo will claim the lion before he goes down.
Yeah, 120 mana per second. That is so much effective HP lost on a Medusa.
It is good. It's real damn good here. As A on disc will be finished for him as well, so your jump options are being limited on the Storm. Who do you even go on at this point? And it all started off that one death by dyrachyo mid that surely would have put Quest in a much tougher position in contesting that Roshan, going into him instead of just being able to kill him behind the tier 2. So much momentum lost in this game for Gaimin.
Is under attack.
And they are staring down the barrel of a very terrifying late game lineup with a lot more firepower to go in these talents. And a lot more firepower to go if they get refreshers.
So am I getting this right? I like, I'll admit it. I Googled it. I put it into the calculator. So he's doing effectively 432 damage a second on the Medusa by taking away 120 mana, right? Because it represents 3.6 damage times that.
Ineffective damage you would be dealing to her from another source, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good for a support hero.
That is if you get to sit here and drain her, though.
Sure.
Which, if the thing is, in the point in the fight where that's happening, I feel like something already went wrong for Gaimin, or something went incredibly right for Quest, you know?
Yeah.
And it's good. Like, by all means, you'll take that every time. That's the Lion player's dream. You get to sit there during this shard. Just suck all that mana away. And there,
So-
it lined up off the black hole. Again, the benefit of the chrono in the black hole, you can actually create these situations where that occurs for an extended period of time, not just a split second. And now it's full Mjolnir done for TA2000. This build has been pretty nice as well. Just straight abuse on this Medusa, which is pretty much all you need in this game. If you find the chronos on dyrachyo or black holes of dyrachyo and you can kill them in that duration, there's not much team fight left for Gaimin.
Remember a
Goes back
long
to the
time
AoE
ago, people talked about Manton Faceless Void because it was like, oh, the illusions go through the chronosphere. Back then, it wasn't necessarily a viable build, but this day and age, particularly against Medusa, it's working out very nicely for TA2000.
There's also a period where the Necronomicon.
Oh yeah, the
Okay,
Necronomicon offlane Faceless Void.
Aggressive
Jump
jump.
in. They're going for an Aegis hero. This is bold, but they will have Doom back up. He's going to go for the black hole.
Just
and
on the range.
He's pulling the Doom just on the edge of it. Then finally gets canceled. They do have the grab ally as well. A cookie given over to TA2000.
back in the Doom.
But Ace popped out of it. He popped out of the Doom.
got the
Hit him with the Doom. TA2000 jumps back. Oh, the blast! Right in the middle of the chronosphere. He was just about to take out Ace and Quinn, but Tofu's blast saves the team fight. And now they're both dead. Remember, they bought back for the Roshan fight. They're both dead for 2 minutes.
And Malik refreshed second black hole. I didn't even see where it went that fight, but that was 2 down the drain for a single AoE Doom that did its job in the end. It caught that Enigma at the edge on the final tick. They're able to put Ace in the tombstone, which stalls it out. They can't finish off the Doom. He comes out, stalls that fight even more for TA2000. If you can't kill the Doom in this period off that Shredder, which is just not enough. I mean, you get the Hex on the Medusa as well from Cowrie. You're to buy a lot of time. What happened to the second black hole? It got canceled by the Doom again.
Immediately, yeah. I mean, it's so hard to play around this grab ally AoE Doom combo.
That's just brutal, man. Absolutely a brutal amount of damage done by this single Doom Aghanim Scepter.
And this is an opportunity for Gaimin Gladiators to end the game. As you go back into real time, there's something to know. They did not have buyback when they died, but it's now come back up for Noob, and it will soon be up in 20 seconds for the Faceless Void.
Is
If
20
Gaimin
seconds
Gladiators, do they know their timing exactly on the dieback?
It's going to be real damn close. That is a huge jump from Quinn.
Calorie going to be caught here. He does have an opportunity to get off his own side. In fact, Quinn is committed so much, he's going to use the last bit of mana to be able to finish up the Phoenix, but Noob is back into play. They're going to go for the kill on Quinn. He doesn't have much to work with here. A small little hop away is not going to be enough. He dies. AoE Doom. Ace, they're going to go for the kill on the Snapfire. But more buybacks are up. They're all up now. Quest, they're going to be able to fight back here, but the Megas are happening at the same time. TA2000 trying to stop dyrachyo, but the Showcase allows him to go through. Get off the Megas. Now he's turning a second Showcase. Oh no! The Faceless Void's in trouble. TA2000 does manage to get up both Quinn with his buyback, finish off Calorie. Noob, the turn, opportunity, big time. No, the cookie doesn't quite land. Quinn
has no mana. You have to find Quinn here. This is a buyback.
Oh, they're not going to be able to. He gets away, walks it off with a Glimmer Cape from Tofu, and both of the carries get out. The Storm Spirit and dyrachyo will both walk away, and Quest are now going to have to hold against Megas.
That target prioritization from Gaimin works out perfectly. As that jump from Quinn, yeah, you abandoned dyrachyo, but he has enough strength to fight for himself, get the Megas with the Stone Gaze, freezing the Faceless Void in his tracks, and you even got buybacks out on top of it. 3 out of Quest, no racks left. A game 2 elimination game. You have all the team fight in the world. Can you hold on long enough for it to come back online, stabilize this game, and somehow push through Megas for a win? We have seen it before. Nothing is out of question, especially when you're looking down the barrel of a Divine Rapier level 25 Snapfire. You get to that, a lot of this game changes, because suddenly you might just be able to kill the Doom through his BKB during that AoE duration and open up the fight for your Enigma. I think that's what it's going to have to come down here for Quest.
Yes. They need to find a way to kill the Doom. Malik gets off a great black hole because he doesn't have to worry about that Doom anymore, and you could be golden. But if you don't manage that, you only have one shot. Against Megas and against Gaimin Gladiators, who are going to be building up their buybacks now. They just need Quinn. 6 minutes for him, but they could play for the next Roshan.
Yes,
so
you play for
Refresher.
Because contesting that Rosh sounds impossible right now for Quest. You don't have buys. It's going to be so far away from your base. You're at a threat of just getting thrown by mega creeps.
It's going to be on dire side.
Yeah, your lane shove is also not amazing here, right? And it's also dangerous to push these lanes out deep because the Storm Spirit can just jump you. And you're not necessarily going to have everybody there. The Hex initiation for Quinn is deadly right now.
Yeah, the further you push it out, every single lane, the more separated you are from each other. So,
a very tough position. As you have to wait for your ults, wait for your buybacks, and play very defensive right now. And Tofu is scouting Rosh with a blast, so Gaimin know what's up. And they should just be able to go in here and claim it. That is number 3. That's going to be a refresher shard. Man, that is something you really wanted here on the side of Quest with all these ults. Instead, it'll probably end up going to dyrachyo or Ace here. I mean, double Doom sounds pretty damn good.
You know, all I can think about right now, TA2000 just got level 25, so he has the backtrack talent, right? Imagine just 20% HP, right? Let's say that last blast doesn't actually hit him. How different that fight could have been for the Faceless Void. But
it made a game of a difference right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think dyrachyo was still full HP.
Yeah,
that was still a scary fight.
Yeah, it was.
It just, the AoE Doom did so much in that engagement. It pushed Gaimin over the edge as they were on the precipice.
We really weren't getting much impact, I feel like, out of Ace before that moment.
No, it was that, and that was it. And that was where he made his impact felt. He's been a clutch player all year for this team. Will continue to show his worth as they'll put the Aegis on the Storm, not the Medusa here, and the Refresher Shard into dyrachyo's pocket. So not what I was thinking.
Maybe they're just thinking more about, like, some of these heroes don't have buybacks, so play for the kills rather than the push.
Yeah, I mean, they want Quinn to be aggressive while he doesn't have buys, so they want to give him the second life.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. He also has the Zags for AoE pulse. You cannot clump right now.
And he is going to get aggressive. Oh, Mar. Look at that. He preemptively cast the Earth Spike to see if he could catch Quinn immediately on the landing.
That is near impossible. If you do it, though, you will earn many tips and many commends. It's absolutely for sure. Gaimin. They are stalking the base right now.
Another zip, another just a little poke here from Quinn. He's got plenty more where that came from, not just the Aegis, but also the Chakra Magic, so... The hard part is Seer Force are going to start taking damage to these Megas, and every single time they have to use a little Shredder, it's an opportunity for Gaimin Gladiators as well.
I mean, how deep do they want to jump right now? It's so scary fighting into the fountain versus these ults. Very hard for Ace to control the fight when it gets pulled that far into Quest base. Of course, you do know you're missing some buybacks, right? Gaimin know this Void and Snap are on their last leg here, so if you see the jump for one of them, that's a pretty good opportunity to end this game. Swift Blink for dyrachyo as well. He is capped out. He might just start the fight. I mean, he still has buyback, right? 400 gold. You're not too concerned if your Medusa goes in and the fight goes wrong and she dies. And Divine, enough time for Noob to pick it up. He got it. It's flying on the courier. This courier got hit by something as well, by the way. I don't know what, but it's almost dead itself.
84 HP.
Well, that Watcher almost saw it. That was a very clutch dodge.
Yeah, he stays off the map and will collect the Divine Rapier. Now, the unfortunate part is I don't think this is going to remain a secret. Oh, they're immediately going to smoke up. They're going to try and put it to use right away.
Your billions are dying.
Yeah, tier 4s are going down. They have to jump in now. The Divine Rapier starts going to work. They try to finish off the Undying. It's not quite good enough. Another round. Hexes. Oh, Quinn almost dies. They focus on the Doom, though. Oh, he got saved by the grab ally. Once again, they cannot kill the Tombstone because he used the little Shredder. He wants the damage out of it, but what about the Tombstone, though? What about the grab ally?
You don't have a choice. You need the Divine hits on these cores right now.
Oh, he got the jump. Quinn, he's going to lose his Aegis.
dyrachyo moving
goes out. Do they hit for the throne? Are they willing to do that? There's still a Chronosphere and a Black Hole.
They don't have the Doom, and they didn't give the Refresher Shard to Ace, so Gaimin are going to get thwarted here. They're going to respect their cooldowns right now. Wait for this Stone Gaze. Wait for the Doom. And that was one of the two Black Holes. The other one instantly refreshed by Malik. That was incredibly good positioning on the ult. Caught Ace without getting canceled.
Yeah, just how did they not kill him?
They were looking aggressively.
Oh, Malik fumbles it.
Oh, this is way too far.
Oh God, he's got to get back. Oh no. Omar,
he got the impale.
Jump. Quinn, maybe this is a perfect bait. TA2000, he can jump in, but he respects the fact that he doesn't want to blow this and just have dyrachyo have a free fight. Maybe just go straight for throne.
The vision in trying to find the Snapfire right now as well with Trickster Cloak Silver Edge. Gaimin, how deep can you get the detection as Malik has no BKB right now?
Dude, they gotta stop Seleri, man. But how do you stop the Tombstone when he's got a Blink Dagger? He's got a Ghost Scepter.
These buybacks are coming off cooldown for Quest. I don't know, they don't have the gold for them. But let's say you get a big core kill in the fight, it might unlock it, right?
Yeah, you get enough golds. If they do have the initiation, it seems likely they can kill a core.
Coddle, Basher.
Again?
Austin, I've seen this once before.
Oh no!
I've seen it first hit proc.
Oh God, Quest, they're gonna assume this Black Hole is free if the Doom is dead.
No, he just has the entire Abyssal Blade.
Yeah.
He's so damn rich. That on Aether Lens plus your cast range. There's no counter for this right now on Quest.
Nope.
It's a guaranteed Black Hole cancel.
This is not a game you would go Lincoln's. He's so focused on the AoE Doom, you wouldn't ever consider that, but the cast range on this Keeper of the Light, it's so big.
It guarantees it here. This is absolutely guaranteed if Tofu does not get caught in one of the Chrono or Black Hole AoEs. This is debilitating for Malik. They have been relying on these Black Holes to control the zones in the fight. Buy space for TA2000 to hit a big core without having to commit the Chrono early. And a refresher for Ace means double Doom also online. There's so much big late game net worth rolling in for Gaimin right now. And of course that Storm buyback backup, that is something else you're gonna have to worry about if you're Quest. These buybacks, they get instantly recalled off the Coddle. So a lot of these heroes can show up instantly despite not having bots. This Coddle went up in priority. I don't know if you're gonna be able to find him. That's the difficult part. He also has the telescope, and of course the ninja gears starting to come out. It's so damn hard to find the jump if you're Quest. You got to deal with the throne getting hit as well.
You got to deal with the Coddle.
Yeah, these supports are both ruining your ultimate combinations here.
And Quinn has an Aghanim Scepter, so like all of those saves aside, you still have to also worry about the offensive potential of Gaimin Gladiators. If he grabs 2 or 3 heroes, pulls them together, an AoE Doom, that could just be your team fight gone.
It's a lot of things to think about right now. You can't clump. You have to pick who you jump. It's hard to see the vision. You need to line these ults up. The good news for Quest is that defense allowed them to get their buyback gold back up. So 4 of these heroes have buyback outside of the Lion right now. That's a lot of lives to fight through if you're gaming. I mean, technically you have the ults to do it in the Refresher and the Doom, and you know, some buybacks you can commit yourself off the recall. It's just a terrifying team to push into. Even if they have no buildings, they have the spells and they have the control and they have this Divine Rapier, which is causing you a lot of issues right now because you cannot get on top of Noob and lock him down. What he would have done to just be able to go dataless in this game over a Ghost Scepter, right?
Oh, yeah, seriously. Because it is noticeable, the fact that he doesn't, like, instantly pop the Doom or the Undying when they get a disable.
That's how tanky these heroes are.
Yeah.
He does a lot of damage, and it's still not enough. He needs a second Divine. And he's aiming at it.
And they're just going to keep getting more items on Gaimin Gladiators. Looks like Ace, he's going to consume his Ag soon, then work for an Aeon Disc, so there goes that idea. If he, like, the damage doesn't matter. It's the AoE disable that matters. So if he just jumps in with an AoE Doom and their whole concept is, well, we're going to blow him up, Aeon Disc is the perfect way to defeat that.
Is backtrack breakable? It's not, right? I don't think you can break talents.
Disabled by break.
Oh, it is. That's interesting, because Ace took this Doom break talent.
Yeah.
There's only one passive in the game. It's Time Lock, and the other one would be Backtrack here. So he really wants to just sink this Void into the Nether Realm, because there's nothing else you're breaking in this game. And that other talent is a lot of damage. That is something that TA2000 might not be ready for. It's going to take out a decent chunk of EHP here.
Let's see, level 20 for Lion coming in soon. 23 on the Enigma, but his 25 talent isn't particularly inspiring. 20 on the Phoenix, the Sunray damage. I mean, I'm looking at this and I just don't feel like much is going to change for Quest. While there is a lot of things that can still go the way of Gaimin Gladiators.
I mean, the only thing at this point that's really changing for Quest is how much damage Noob can put out.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it. It's more Divines, more Daedalus, crit, whatever it is on the Snapfire here. Because, yeah, they have their buybacks, they have all their late game ults, they have the Refresher on Enigma. I mean, the Faceless Void getting a Refresher is probably the next biggest deal in this game in terms of outputting a double Chrono. That would be pretty damn nice here. The thing is, you're going to have to save that up on top of buyback, so it's a lot of gold away here.
Yeah.
You're not getting much off these Mega Creeps right now.
I'm just kind of like...
Quest survived to the 60-minute mark. Could get some Ex Machinas and stuff, which could change a lot.
Yeah. I keep looking at Quest, just hoping I'll see somebody queue up a Nullifier so that they know the Aeon Disc is coming, but I have a sinking feeling that they're not going to find out about it until it's too late. The Aeon Disc on Ace, that is.
Also going to save his buyback and buyout, as all these heroes from Gaimin won it up to be able to contest an aggressive smoke or abuse the buybacks into the recall. Yeah, Aeon could be pretty damn interesting here. Might be able to open up more aggressive plays from him into these buybacks. Like, you go and kill a Chorus, one buys back, you tank a spell with this Aeon, and suddenly you can retake the fight. Anything that helps you get through these ultimates is going to be nice for Gaimin here, as this game is not over yet.
Roshan is going to spawn now.
Hey, Quest pushing out of their base. First time in a long time. They will get a D-ward and an OBS on a hill, so Gaimin should know that got placed as well. Eventually can D-ward it, but it'll be vision up. And they have 2 wards outside their base. These are the comeback potential. You see a core straggling for whatever reason, you don't question it, you just take it. But another Refresher shard off this Roshan. Another Aegis cheese. I mean, who do you even give this Refresher shard to? I guess Storm. You can double Vortex pull.
Yeah. I mean, you already have the Refresher on the Doom, so
Ultimate Theory Craft, though.
Uh-huh.
You give it to Tofu
For the
double Abyssal on the double Black Hole.
Well, that's something.
Also, this Coddle level 25 talent is pretty dumb in the late game. if he wants to take Blinding Light Stun, I feel like that's the better talent here for sure. Very obnoxious in these fights when the BKBs go down. It's a very hard stun to keep track of. Just catches you off guard. He's almost there, as they will have a level advantage. They will have a gold advantage. They will have every advantage in the book with 41k lead. Is it enough to win?
Enough. 5-man smoke up. Gaimin Gladiators. Dyrachyo, the first to show himself. Pushing forward to a very
T2000. He bought out for refresher. 1 life on the Void.
The meaty black hole. They're going to try and blow up Dyrachyo right away, but there is the black hole. Used the Aeon Disc. He's going to survive through the blast, but at the same time, TA2000 ignored all of that, went for the Chronosphere, and brought down Seleri. But now a buyback. He refreshes on TA2000, a second Chronosphere ready to go. So many tombstones out as well.
2 in the back right now. However, the throne is not dying. Gaimin are not getting damage right now.
And they still have Glyph too.
They still have a black hole. They still have a Chronosphere.
Trying to get some damage down with a little shredder. Dyrachyo just trying to get more reactions out of them. More opportunities for Ace to respond, who's got his second Doom ready to go off of the refresher. Aeon Disc. Omar gets the jump of Hex. Trying to blow up damage. Damage on Dyrachyo is a decent amount. The Hex follow-up. Oh, he got stopped, but at the same time, cooking away. TM2000, he stays alive, gets up the Chronosphere with the gang. What a combination from Quest. They keep their carry alive. And now Gaimin Gladiators, panicky. They're going to maybe start buying back. They do have a second black hole.
He got them all.
Going to be able to catch 3. Gaimin Gladiators, Clip of the Doom, is going to be able to stop it. Quinn, he jumps in with the Orchid, grabbing the TA2000 died, but he got the gold enough for be able to get another buyback. Quinn, he's going back in, trying to catch more. TA2000 playing up against Megas, playing up against 5 of Gaimin Gladiators.
Divine Rapier recovered by TA2000, gives it back to Noob here.
Oh, that's so important because they didn't have their ultimate, so like this little shredder is so important.
That's all they have left. Nothing else on the board right now. It's going to come down to how much physical damage you deal, and there's still a buyback on Dyrachyo. You might have to do it twice.
Trying to get rid of vision. Cowrie going to be caught. Oh, once again, the cookie saves. Noob is doing it all. Mal jumps forward, gets a small little stun on the Quinn. He's okay, though. Dyrachyo, again, keeping the pressure on, keeping the damage onto this
flying in.
A second Divine Rapier might just even the odds here. A Hex. No, there's the Tombstone save. Omar quickly backs away. They can't really handle this Tombstone very easily.
It's so many hits to kill it, man. That talent is destroying Quest right now. There's no way you're taking these Tombstones down anymore. There are a lot of them. The ults are coming back up slowly but surely. And second Divine on Noob. That is your win condition.
Damage ahead. Oh, there's it. They don't have a save this time around, but they do have the 4-step. Looks like Amar is going to be caught in the AoE. Doom is catching so many heroes. They kill the Phoenix, and look at Malik. He's going to die as well. TA2000. A time walk over to the side. Pops Malik, jumps back in, trying to stick on Dyrachyo. They pop the glove to be able to keep their agent alive. Oh, beautiful.
Survives.
Back in. A time walk away from the Doom right as Ace tried to get the initiation. Now Quinn is dead for 2 minutes. It's a 3 versus 4 to be able to hold this one. A jump forward immediately from Dyrachyo. He win this fight. Another Doom going out. Dyrachyo laying the damage. The AoE control is there. TA2000 dies. Oh, the Snapfire dies as well. GG is called, and Gaimin Gladiators will pull it out ever so barely in both Game 1 and Game 2.
And Medusa and Doom are just printing money on side lanes, and they took advantage of Storm's pickoff power. The early